Be Cueto, Samardzija, and Gaussman, if they're all healthy. The next two are anyone's guess, really. And whoever misses out, maybe they wind up in the bullpen to help out Watson and Gott and the mess they have there.
Yeah.
They're just a bad team. I'm sorry, but they're just a bad team. They have really
brutal.
They have nothing. They have really nothing coming. Their farm systems are horrible for the most part, with the exception of maybe a couple guys. And most of their team is a wrong side of 30.
Welcome back to another episode of Too Much Pod Tar. Another 30 teams, 30 pod series. We've been going through a lot of these over the last few weeks. Almost done with them now. This one's going to be the Giants. And, Giants, we talked about a lot in this pod, they're going to be one of the teams that won't, like one of the few NL teams that won't contend. So kind of a depressing team to talk about, but yeah, we're still going to talk about them just to give them the airtime, I guess. So, what do you guys want to start?
Yeah, I was looking at some of the Giants, like the depth chart today. Yeah. And, just going around a diamond, I don't know, Posey's another year older. He had a horrible year last year, battled injuries and stuff, but he's going to be half first base, half catcher. It's just a matter of time before Joey Bart takes that over. Yeah. So we don't know what to expect from him. He's been such a great catcher for his career and everything. Brandon Belt is what he is at first. I saw on MLB.com they have Mauricio Dubon starting at second base because obviously Panic's not there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But they also have Wilmer Flores now. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting dynamic to see who starts at second. Brandon Crawford's still there. Evan Longoria is still there. Round out the infield. They are who they are. A lot of their players are who they are. Their outfield is kind of interesting. Alex Dickerson, they have starting on left. Mike Yastrzemski in center had a pretty good year last year, half year. Be interested to see what he does in the full season. Showed some power and everything. And then they got a Hunter Pence back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see with their lineup. I don't have a lot of high hopes for that scoring a lot of runs.
Wow. But looking at their lineup, the lineup they have a lot more promise than their pitching. The pitching is not even much of anything. And looking at their projections, none of their starters or even bullpen is projected to have an ERA under 4. Like Johnny Cueto 4.10. They have Jeff Samardzija still, Kevin Gausman, Drew Smiley. It's not really that good. I don't even know what else to say about it. Just they're not going to get much production from it.
Yeah. Can you believe that this team actually finished third last year?
No.
They lost, they lost some guys too, but it's just ugly. Even the lineup, they just don't strike fear into anybody. At this point in their careers, Longoria is not who he was. Crawford's not who he was. Same thing with Belt, same thing with Posey. They're just losing. They don't have that power. They don't have that thump. Yastrzemski, they were talking about, Yastrzemski, he looked pretty good, and Dickerson, but and Pence, he was he red hot last season with the Rangers for a while. But I don't know. It's really, it's a long way down the road still for the Giants. I think they got some guys that could make an impact here in the next few years, like Heliot Ramos, Marco Luciano, and like you said, Joey Bart, who probably is further along than the other two. But I don't know. Like this team, and they signed Yolmer Sanchez too. Um, so I don't know where he plays into all this. Like with when you got Flores and then Dubon second base, and it's like Yolmer Sanchez isn't really that great, but he's solid defensively. But I mean, their pitching is ugly. Like what are they doing in the bullpen? You got Tony Watson maybe
Yeah.
closing games.
Yeah.
Like I don't. That's your closer by committee with him and I don't know Trevor Gott, and then like I don't know who else is. I think Trevor Cahill was a non-roster invite, but
They
I
Willie
don't.
Peralta.
Yeah, like
Derek Rodriguez.
yeah, I just don't. Nick Vincent's like he's been okay in his career, but how much is he pitching? And then like the one guy that's actually kind of decent to me is Tyler Rogers. He's like that submarine righty that he actually was really good last year for I think he came in late August and just pitched the rest of the season. But he's actually somebody who I could see him, and he almost struck out a batter per nine, but or almost had a batter per nine. But I just don't. Or what am I trying to say? K per nine. His K per nine was almost whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Batter per inning.
Yeah, batter per inning. That's it. Almost struck out a batter per inning. Almost. But no, he's pretty solid. I think he could do good because guys struggle with those submarine type pitchers, so he might be decent out of the bullpen. But after that, it's like, what are they doing? I don't know. Kevin Gossman in the rotation. I mean,
Yeah.
Tyler Beatty. I think he just got hurt today with elbow tightness or something. Right elbow tightness. So.
Derek Rodriguez.
Yeah, Derek Rodriguez. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not excited about this Giants team this year at all.
They're bad all the way around. They'll have the worst record in National League. I think
Yeah.
they'll be worse than the Marlins, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marlins is actually going to be pretty decent, I think, this year.
Yeah. They'll fight you.
Marlins can put together some wins early in the year
Yeah.
until they trade some of their guys.
Yeah.
So they move Villar and like guys like that. And what's his name? So you got the first. What's his name? Aguilar.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
They'll move.
Yeah.
They'll move
Yeah.
a couple people. Their pitching staff is actually better than the Giants. Even with like Caleb Smith and Pedro Lopez and guys like that, like Alcantara. I trust those guys more than. I mean, if Cueto and Samardzija. I mean, if they could turn the clock back 5 years, maybe they had something. But I doubt that's happening.
Yeah.
Gausman, I always liked Kevin Gausman. I always thought he had good stuff. He could just never put together like a full season of anything. It's always like a story of two halves with him. He was in Baltimore. He showed flashes like, in the second half of 1 year. And then he went to Atlanta last year and he had decent starts. And he's never consistent. I'd love to see the kid because I think the guy could be good. But I just think he's so inconsistent that he always winds up with that 4-something ERA at the end of the year. And a pitcher's tough like San Francisco, if you can't make it work, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Gossman's like, even last year, like people thought he was going to be decent with the Braves, and like look at how that turned out. Is like he finished the year with a 5.72 ERA, struck out 114 batters in 102 innings or 102 and a third innings, which is pretty solid strikeout numbers. So he's definitely got the stuff, but it's like, man, like you said, he just can't put it together. I don't know. He lets him leak over the zone, and he gets shelled at times. But yeah, I'm with you on the Marlins though too. Like that pitching staff is way way better than whatever they're throwing out here. Like that Webb kid, what's his name? Logan Webb.
Oh yeah, Logan Webb.
He could be actually pretty decent, I think. But I don't know how. I don't know if he's going to start in the majors or not. Looks like right now they have him penciled on the MLB.com depth chart as the 5th starter. And if Beatty's now hurt and maybe he'll miss opening day, or I don't know, maybe he's out for an extended period of time. I don't really know right now. I think he's going to have an MRI done or whatever. But Webb could be pretty solid. I don't know. He wasn't really that good last year, but well, I don't know. He's got this. I think he's got decent stuff too, but it's just nothing that really overly excites you, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he'll get some innings, definitely for sure. I think even if there's like, as you said, like with the injury, like with what's his name, Bede. I think even if he doesn't start off that in the rotation, maybe he'll end up there at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys think that Derek Rodriguez? Do you guys think he's in the rotation, or do you think he's in the bullpen then? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd say
what's that? Sorry.
With the depth charts with MLB, I look at it basically as the top 3 or 4. I mean, depending on team, and then the next guys because they usually list like 8 starters.
Right.
They're not making the rotation. So I mean, I would say, especially if Beatty's hurt for any amount of time, if Webb doesn't show up this spring, Derek Rodriguez does, I think they give it to him because he's got the major league experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't see why they wouldn't throw him as the 5th starter. He actually had some success too a couple of years ago. And then came back to reality because we all knew his metrics didn't fit what he actually did in 18 or 17 or whatever it was. And then he got hurt. But, I mean, if he's healthy, Rodriguez could be a solid number 4. I mean, he's never going to be an ace. He doesn't strike out enough guys. He's a ground ball pitcher. He benefits from Longoria and Crawford playing the left side of the infield, who are both good defensive players. So I don't know. But he could definitely start the season as number 4 or 5, Rodriguez. Be Cueto, Samardzija, and Gausman, if they're all healthy. The next 2 are anyone's guess, really. And whoever misses out, maybe they wind up in the bullpen to help out Watson and Gott and the mess they have there.
Yeah.
They're just a bad team. I'm sorry, but they're just a bad team. They have really brutal. They have nothing. They have really nothing coming. Their farm systems are horrible for the most part, with the exception of maybe a couple guys. And most of their team is a wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
They didn't rebuild when they should have a few years ago. They should have traded Bumgarner. They should have traded Posey. All right, Posey maybe I could see because he was still productive and he's a catcher. I face of the franchise and all that. I get it. But they should have traded Belt.
Yeah.
By now.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't trade.
They traded for Longoria. Why? Traded for McCutchen.
Yeah, McCutchen.
What are you doing?
The Giants are honestly, the whole sentimental thing, like we were talking about last year, is like, I get it with Bruce Bochy, and you wanted to try to make a run, I guess. I don't know how they actually thought that they had a chance though, just because they were hot for, like, can't you see that you just do not have enough when, even though you're winning some ball games, they just thought it's like false reality, false hope.
Well, it's the Royals. I mentioned it, I think it was yesterday or the day before in the pod. The same thing the Royals did. They won in 2015. And then 2 years ago, they hung on to Lorenzo Cain. They hung on to Hosmer. They hung on to Moustakas. They hung on to Gordon. Granted, they re-signed them. But they hung on to all these guys. Why? You know your team's not going anywhere. But they were a team at that point, I think it was 2017 or 18. I believe it was 17. That they were like 5 games out of the wild card around the trade deadline. And they were like, well, we got these guys, Hosmer and Moustakas. They held on to them. Ned Yost was still there. They wanted to make one. It was the same thing. It's the American League version of the Giants. They had a World Series winning manager who just won the World Series a few years ago. All these players still together. Instead of trading them and saying, look, as an organization, we're going to move on. We're going to rebuild. And we're going to win a World Series in 5 years from now. Instead of that, they hung on to all these guys and let them all walk in free agency. And they knew damn well they weren't going to sign them. And the Royals, San Fran will actually spend money here and there. Like the Royals, they knew they weren't going to spend money. They knew they weren't re-signing Hosmer. They knew they weren't re-signing Kane. They knew they weren't re-signing Moustakas. They knew all that. But they hung on to him. Why? Sentimental.
Makes no sense.
Sentimental value. And now the fan base is going to suffer. Although Kansas City's done a much better job in the draft than San Francisco has.
The one guy the Giants got last year I think is going to be good as Hunter Bishop. But he's got a years away until he's there.
He was a high school kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's got a few years. Is that Braden Bishop's brother?
Who? Wait,
I think it might be.
I don't know.
No, they got Will Wilson too.
Oh, that's right.
In the
That's
draft.
the guy,
Wilson. Yeah.
the guy trying to get on this podcast, but then he never answered after the first answer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, that would have been awesome too. Those kids though, like they might be coming up like close to around the same time. Like Joey Bart's probably the closest out of the prospects, and then maybe you move Posey to first for a little bit. I don't know, but like Luciano and Ramos, those guys have serious potential. I think they both have power, and Ramos has a really good arm too in the outfield. Probably more of a right fielder, I would say. But Luciano, and he's a good shortstop. So that kid's 18 years old. So like he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there anytime soon. Same with, I think Ramos is only like 20 or 20, something like that.
He could be a year away. Ramos depends on how he does this year.
Yeah,
if he was up to Double-A and hits well this year, you might see him as a cup of coffee in September. You never know. Although the September rosters now, don't forget the rules have changed, so it's not a 40-man roster anymore.
Oh yeah,
they've changed it all now.
26-man
roster for the season, and I believe it's 28 in September. You only get to bring up 2 guys.
Oh wow, I thought it was 30, 28. That's like nothing
30
extra.
I'm not 100% sure, but I thought it was 28. But
Oh no, I have no idea. I was just thinking. For some reason, I was thinking that, but you're probably right. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not 40, that's for sure. So
I forgot about that though. Honestly.
Yeah, you're not going to be bringing up all these guys until you get a look at them.
Hunter Bishop actually might be closer because he was at Arizona State. He wasn't actually out of high school.
Oh, okay. I wonder if Braden Bishop's brother. Braden Bishop's an outfielder for Seattle. They actually have him listed as the backup in right field to Jake Fraley.
You know who we missed? Who we missed to talk about?
It is his brother.
Duggar.
Well, Duggar too, but I was thinking of somebody else. Billy Hamilton.
Forgot about that.
He's on the Giants?
Yeah, I don't know if he makes the roster. I guess he's a NRI or non-roster invite. So,
wow.
I mean, we'll see. I think he signed a minor league contract with them. But
dude can run and still play center field. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
you know, he's got 2 of the 5 tools. You know.
Roster resource has him batting 8th and starting.
Wow.
So
Well,
I don't know. I don't see that, to be honest. But like when you
I
have
don't-
Pence and Duggar there too, like why is he starting? But I don't know.
yeah, I forgot. MLB.com actually has Pence as their 4th outfielder. They have Dickerson, Yastrzemski, and Duggar in the outfield.
Yeah,
Pence is their 4th.
I could see Pence taking over.
I don't know, but
Oh yeah, I looked it up. It is his brother, Braden Bishop.
okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
There you go.
You know, I saw something that I think Billy Hamilton, his barrel percentage last year was 0%.
Wow.
I don't think he had one single barrel last season.
That reminds me of a metric I looked up. I was looking for the NFBC, for the TGFBI,
Yeah.
for a corner infielder, and Hosmer was the next one up
Mm.
in my draft. I didn't draft him, but I was looking up his baseball savant, like the Statcast numbers, and in 2018, his launch angle was negative 1.2.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
What the fuck?
that was his launch angle, negative 1 point. Like what?
Was he trying to hit the ball to hell?
You absolutely hit everything on the ground.
Yeah.
Like trying to
How
put
do you-
holes in the ground?
How do you even accomplish that? Like that?
That's
That's just like mind-boggling, because that's the first time I've ever seen that. I've never seen that with a player who's got like significant plate appearances. I mean, he was a starter. He has 600 plate appearances. I mean, how do you have a negative launch angle? Like,
and he still hit some homers, right? Like I don't,
Yeah.
that's so weird.
not only that, as a lefty, as a left-handed batter, like with a loop in your soul, like how do you?
It's like a natural uppercut. Like
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. We were talking about, you just mentioned the Statcast with the, Billy Hamilton and everything. I was like, yeah, I saw that today when I was about to draft. I was like, I need a corner infielder.
that's
I was
so.
like, all right, and Hosmer was the next one up. I'm like, 22 home runs, 99 rib. He actually had 99 ribbies last year.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, let me take a look. So I looked at Savant to get the Statcast numbers. I was like, negative 1. I was like, how is this possible, man?
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
not. I would never have thought that he had 22 or 22 bombs last year. How do you?
Last year he had 22 bombs. His launch angle was like 3.
Oh, because you were talking 18. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018, but still, yeah, I think he had 15 to 16. Like, I don't know, man. Just hitting a lot of balls on the ground, and the funny thing is, he hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
Like his hard hit rate last year was like 46%.
Well, yeah.
He hits the ball hard. He barrels it up, but just it's down.
It makes no sense.
I don't know. He's weird. He's got weird Statcast numbers. Like it's odd.
Yeah, that's just,
Anyway.
Yeah, somebody did an article on him with the Scorecrow. Who was it? Was it that Antonio or something?
Oh, was it?
really.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Or something like that?
I was reading something about like his crazy swing patterns and like how he like his crazy like numbers. It was really interesting actually. He had like I don't know if he had some graphs in there or something too, but
Yeah.
I was reading something about it when I think he wrote about it last year, but I was like, wow, I know that was the first time I actually took note of how much he hit the ball on the ground, but I did not know the launch angle until you just said that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at now. That like intrigued me, so I looked at Baseball Savant, and like D. Gordon had a negative launch angle in 2015, negative 0.7.
That's weird though. D. Gordon, you would expect.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, because he's
I mean,
a speedster, like
Yeah.
slap hitter.
But Hosmer, the dude can hit 20 home runs a year.
That's
You wouldn't
so
expect a
strange.
negative launch angle from him. Like it just seemed odd to fit his like profile. Exact stats.
Jimmy Yelich hit 0 in 2015.
Think about how many homers he could actually hit if he just altered that a little bit and started if his launch angle just went up like maybe to 6% or 7%.
Yeah.
Like how much would that affect? Like maybe he's a 30 plus homer hitter a season.
What was it? First round pick. I mean, he looked at him like, going to be a stud at first.
Yeah.
And he turns into James Loney with a little more power. That's basically what he turns into.
James Loney.
Who hits 290.
I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, well, that's Eric Hosmer. Eric Hosmer just has a little more power.
Yeah.
Guess who has the highest average launch angle since 2015?
Ooh.
For just 1 year. I mean, like not for 2015 till now, but like
the highest since 2015, like for one season.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Can you give us a team? That's cheating, probably.
Can you give us a league?
It's in the NL.
Who in the NL? For one season. It's not Schwarber.
Yeah, I was thinking him actually too.
I don't think he had that much of a launch angle though, but he does launch, but oh man.
I'm gonna say Bryce Harper.
No, but you're close.
That's a good one.
Close.
Close? What's close?
What does that mean?
Is it a BH?
It means you're warm.
You're warm. Is it a lefty?
Well, no. But it's
Anthony Rendon.
No. It's the same team.
Oh, so a Soto?
No, I mean he's on the same team now. That's what I mean. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, God. Hoskins.
Yeah, it's Hoskins, 24.
Damn, That's crazy. The dude just can't hit like for average.
He only hit. What did he hit last year? I don't even know.
220, I think.
226 or 220 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like 240.
I think he's going to have a pretty good year this year, though.
You know what it is with Hoskins too, though, is last year. I mean, he had 29 home runs. He still had 80 ribbies and 80 runs. I mean, the dude's still. You know what he is? He's a right-handed Carlos Santana. It's basically what he.
Oh yeah.
But Santana though, he still hits for a decent average though.
Now he did. No, last year he did. You look at his career numbers when he was in Cleveland, before he went to Philly. When he was in Cleveland, his batting average was like 240, 250.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, better than Hoskins was last year. Okay. But I'm just saying it was like 240, 250. But he walked as much as he struck out.
Right.
He would give you 25 home runs, 80 runs, 80 ribbies. He was like consistent like that. I'm just saying Hoskins, I can see him being 30 home runs, 85 to 90 ribbies, 85 to 90 runs, 240 batting average, 340.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's going to be that same type of player.
Yeah, they're great in like OBP leagues, both of them.
Oh, I've had one league I've been in was a keeper league. I don't keep him, but I draft him every year as Carlos Santana. We do OPS.
Nice.
Which is great. I love it. We do OPS. Not OBP, not average, not slugging. OPS. So I draft Carlos Santana every year in like the 12th round. No one ever takes him. I take him every year, dude, because I know
Nice.
what I'm getting.
Yeah, he's
You
gonna
know,
give you that OPS of like close to, maybe
yeah,
830 or whatever, 8 something.
Yeah.
oh yeah, 340, 350 on base percentage with a 500, 450 to 500 slugging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Santana, and then you're getting the home runs too with it. All right.
Yeah.
He's like, he's always going to be plays every day. The dude's played in 150 games. I don't know. I think it's 8 years in a row now. I mean, he's going to play. Give me
Yeah.
that consistency. I'll take it.
Holy shit! Yeah, he's in the red for games played. I'm looking at a Statcast right now. For like 3 out of the last 4 years, he's in the red, like in the top whatever percent for games played, and walks too. And damn it, so he's got a lot of red on this screen.
Yeah, dude. Carlos, he's underrated, man. Really underrated player. And to think he started out as a catcher.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. They loved him coming up. Switch hitting catcher? It's all about him. And then he just, he wasn't that great behind the plate. So they moved him. But yeah, he started as a catcher. Like a lot of other guys do. I mean, Bryce Harper was the catcher.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Schwarber.
Oh, yeah.
Catcher. A lot of guys were catchers. Biggio was a catcher.
Biggio, yeah.
Kenley Jansen was a catcher.
Oh, yeah.
He was a catcher in the minor leagues. They drafted him as a catcher. They put him on the mound. He threw 96. They were like, yeah, I think we'll do this. And Joe Nathan was a shortstop for the Giants. They converted him to a pitcher and traded him to the Twins.
Did you guys see that Jose Bautista is trying to make a comeback as like a two-way player?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was just gonna say, how long until we start saying, "Hey, you guys remember Jose Bautista started out as an outfielder and third baseman?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, his career is not going to be made on the mound. I mean,
right? Yeah.
Well, I put that in the chat the other day. I would love to see him pitch and Odor to hit a home run off him and bat flip him, man. That would be the brawl to end all brawls right there.
Yeah, so awesome.
That would be great.
We had a baseball game that day, for my team, and we were playing, and somebody pulled up their phone in the dugout. Sometimes we'll check on fantasy stats and stuff like that or whatever, or check on just what's going on in the MLB, and he looked at it, and he's like, oh, one of my buddies, he's like, oh crap, he goes, Odor just rocked Batista. And we're like, what? And we're all just gathered around watching this video, going nuts. It was so awesome. I'll never forget that day, just seeing that too. It was so. I've played that video back. I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, that was a great punch, man. Dude, I wouldn't mess with Odor.
No.
Yeah,
His
good,
glass
right?
came
Look, man. But you know what was funny too? You know what I loved about it? After the game, they talked to Bautista about it, and he was like, "Well, he didn't knock me down."
Well, he damn sure knocked you way the hell back.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, that was such a great punch. That was awesome. that was so good.
He rocked his shit.
Oh,
Well, anyway.
I love Odor.
Anyway, we're way off the spectrum of Giants.
Thanks, Alex.
I touched on Joe Nathan. Used to be a Giant.
Well, this is why I have to be the middleman for the DFS show.
Yeah. Oh, God. This show is going to go on for hours. We're going to be like, we hope you got your lineup in. Because we're still talking, it's 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, people are going to be pissed. Damn it, I didn't get to use all the tips they gave me. They gave me too many.
All right. Sorry, Alex.
Giants over under 68.5. I'm gonna go over. Say 69. Nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Wait, is that a metaphor for they're gonna suck?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna go under. I'm not doing the math right now, but I'm gonna say they win. They're winning 59 games this year. It's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
It's
think I'm
gonna be
actually
bad.
going under. I just wanted to say that. It was funny.
It was funny.
I'm going under that. I'm going 48 wins.
48.
Oh my god, we all went like 10 apart.
Yeah, I'm going 48.
Well, I didn't say an official one.
I think the Giants are honestly arguably the worst team in baseball, in all of baseball. And I think they could finish with. I think they will finish with the worst record in baseball.
You know what? I'm gonna go 27. I'm kidding.
No, I'll go 40. I'll go 48 and 114.
Oh
That's-
my god.
That's what. Yeah, 48. Yeah, 48 wins. I don't think they get 50. I really don't.
No.
The National League is too spread out, and there's too many good teams in the National League. See, in the American League, you get to beat up on some bad teams in the American League. In the National League, that doesn't happen. And I think they're just going to get destroyed by teams like the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Reds, the Cardinals, the Mets, the Phillies, the Nationals. I just think any team they play in the National League is just going to beat them up. And I can't see them winning more than 50. I really can't. I'd give them 60 as an upside, but I still think they lose 100 games,
Oh, yeah.
even with upside. Even with Cueto Samardzija healthy and Gausman and Derek Rodriguez pitching decently this year, I still think their lineup is garbage, and I think their bullpen's garbage. I just can't see it.
So they start out the season playing at the Dodgers, then at the D-backs, then at home against the Dodgers, then at home against the Diamondbacks, the Padres, Reds, Braves, and then they get a little bit of break with the Rockies.
Can I change my prediction?
They're basically going to start off like 2-20. I mean, really? Like,
I mean, that's the thing with baseball, though. Like, they're going to be terrible. And, like, somehow these teams that are terrible still find a way to win some games, which I don't. Yeah, it's so random. Like, you can get your random bullpen games that maybe they outperform what they're supposed to, or like maybe the other team's just not feeling it. They travel to San Fran and they're like, oh, this is an easy win, but they just don't play like they normally play. And I don't know. That's why I'll stick with 59 and 103, but I'm not feeling good about it. Like this team is welcome Gabe Kapler.
Yeah, I forgot he was even the manager.
Yeah, nice season to start with.
Gets fired after the season.
well, he didn't do too well with the Phillies bullpen and everything in the beginning of his tenure there. So either he learned something, or he's just going to be just as bad with less talent.
Oh God,
Right.
it's going to be such a joke.
That's what I'm saying. I just can't see. I'm sorry. If they had one component, like if you look at the offense, the starting staff, and the bullpen, if they had one component that I could point to and be like, this side, like this part of the game might actually be pretty good, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt because they could carry something in baseball. They have nothing. They can't score runs. They're old. Their defense isn't particularly good. Their pitching, even when healthy, is mediocre. And their bullpen's garbage. Like, they just don't have anything going for them. At least some other teams we talk about, like we talked about the Mariners. Yeah, the Mariners aren't good. Their pitching staff is horrible. It's maybe the worst in baseball. But their lineup's got some hope. They have Evan White at first. They got Vogelbach, who had some power. Seager, if he bounces back from his injury last year. You know, if Jake Fraley and Kyle Lewis come up, you know, and do well this season, you know, stuff like that. They have, like, hope. There's some hope. I'm sorry, with the Giants, I don't see it. There's no hope in the future. It just isn't. You know, and Helio Ramos and Mark Luciano and Joey Bart are not coming up this year and saving the team. They're not those guys. So I just don't see it. Like I said.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough of talking about the Giants now. So
yeah.
Hey, wait! I got a quick question. Do you see more than 2 guys hitting over 20 home runs on this team?
I don't see anyone hitting 20 home runs except for Yastrzemski, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe him, like Posey, Longoria, Pence, maybe. Yeah. I don't even see it though. I don't see it.
But
Longoria and Yastrzemski are probably the only 2 that have a realistic chance.
Yeah.
Pence, I don't say stays healthy all year. Belt hasn't hit 20 home runs, and I don't think he's ever hit 20 home runs. Maybe 1 year. Posey not a guy anymore. You know, and he was never a power hitter anyway. Flores won't play enough. Brandon Crawford's not hitting 20. Alex Dickerson's not hitting 20. Steven Duggar's not hitting 20. Like, yeah. Longoria and Yastrzemski are the only 2 guys I could see possibly hitting 20. And that's if they get enough games in.
Mm-hmm. And that ballpark's, like, terrible for hitting, too. Like, they're not doing it. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe those 2, like you said. Yeah, otherwise, I don't see it either.
Yeah,
I was trying to put a fantasy spin on it, so that's why I was asking that.
Well, the funny thing with Yastrzemski is too, like, if I'm not mistaken, I was looking. He's like 5'9", like 180 pounds. Like, his dude's not a big dude either. Listen, where did his power come from this year? Juice ball. You know what I mean? Longoria's Longoria. You know, he's got old man power now. You know, if he can walk into a few, he'll hit 20, 25. You know, if he plays a full season at his age. Was he 33, I think? Something like that, 34. He's on the other side of 30. But, yeah, other than that, no. That's the thing, too. It's like, I don't know. I won't go on and on about how bad the Giants are. I'm done.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, why'd you ask that question?
Sorry.
We just trying to tear into him a little bit more. I don't know.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for Giants podcasts. Listen to all the other ones we did. We did almost all the teams now, so we'll go back and listen to them. Give us some, reviews on all of our episodes. Rate us, all that. So, and the next one up is gonna be the Cardinals that'll be releasing tomorrow. So, yeah, follow us on the Squircrow and check out all the articles that we have out. Team previews, all that stuff. Team previews and fantasy rankings. So, the season's almost here. So get excited. And just a reminder, you can never have too much pod tar.